Hey witches, Mr. Overon here with Mr. Overon's Tarot Reading Services, and today I am going to talk about the use of magical names and why witches take on multiple magical names. So let's get right into it, shall we? So, you may be starting off in the craft or have been in the craft for a while and heard that, when you start to practice witchcraft or any kind of occult spirituality, that you take on a new name. This is your witch name or your craft name. Um, this was done for a multitude of reasons because, back during the Inquisition and the burning times and the witch hunts and all that other stuff, um, you did not want to practice as constant good or whatever. You didn't want to use your birth name, and so you would utilize a craft name, and this craft name took on an entire persona of itself because you used it within your coven. Sometimes you knew the other people who were in the coven, sometimes only by their covenal name. And there's also another reason for this is because people believe that there is power in a name. And to a certain extent, yes and no, there is not a power in a name. Like, I couldn't just say John Smith and envision the person like connected to that name or whatever. Um, Depending on what type of witchery you are doing, you could do that and just like pour all of your energy into that boat, regardless if it's malicious or benevolent, whatever. Um, but what many people don't realize is that there's also a third name. So not only do you have your birth name or your God given name or government name, whatever you want to call it, then you have your craft name, the name that other witches know you by. Then you have your secret name, which is the name that you actually operate with between you and the spirits and the gods that no one else knows. And it is for this reason that um, a lot of people don't acknowledge that they even have a third name. Um, so my witch name is Overon Albertus Magnus, and I developed that name when I was 13 years old. Before that, it was Avatar, Avatar of the Wizard, and the reason I chose Avatar was because of what Avatar means. You are embodying, you are becoming something, you are a representation of something. The name Overon Albertus Magnus came much later when I started doing a lot of coven work and having to work within the community. And I spent many years building up the name Mr. Overon. And so I turned it into a brand and everything else. So people know me in the magical community as Mr. Overon. Um, so also the other reason that I took on Overon Albertus Magnus is not because, well, each one of the three names means something by themselves. Overon is it's a play on the name Oberon, who is the king of the Fae, the third race, all of that other stuff. Albertus Magnus was a 16th or 17th century like occultic scholar who learned a lot about astrology and things like that. And then Magnus by itself is an old English Gaelic. I think it's Gaelic. Don't quote me on that. But it's a older, like old world meaning for magician or practitioner of the craft. And when you put the when you look at the initials over on Albertus Magnus, it spells Ohm, which is also a powerful chant, like, Om, that. And so there was a lot of thought that went into that process. And looking at the numerology of that, it like made perfect sense for who I am and everything that I am about. And the type of practitioner that I have become and that I am currently still practicing and learning at age 45. And so my third name is a whole thing unto itself and is also representative. It's represented by a sigil. So the sigil is actually my third name. And because I don't want to give out like what it says or what the sigil even looks like, just know that that's how I work with things. And in a lot of my magical workings, I will actually sign my name using the sigil or some variation of the sigil, but it's mine. It's my visual representation of my magical marking. And it might not be part of your practice or what you want to do with magic or whatever. You might want to just be known as Alice Goodman or whatever your name is. That's fine also. But tradition states that you should have at least a working magical name that you are able to utilize with some authority within witchcraft or the occult or whatever else. Now, when I'm talking about authority and being like when you work with spirits and everything, you're supposed to have an authority behind your wording that is like 3 steps below a command, but high enough that you're not shucking jiving like, oh, please, Mr. Spirit, I'm looking for you to do XYZ or whatever. But, you are always supposed to approach with humility and authority, like that perfect balance of, for an example, blessed gods and goddesses, hear my plea. I call upon you to help me in this magical working that I am undertaking this day. I request that you do blah, blah, blah. Can you are? And so, by this right, I set forth my intentions to have this undertaken. Thank you. So blessed be, ending the ritual. You are authoritative. You are like putting your whatever out there, and then you're also being humble, and asking for help. Now, the way that you can make that more personal is, utilizing your magical name. Blessed gods and goddesses, hear my plea. I, Overon Albertus Magnus, stand before you and in a time of need. Can you please lend me your energy to take care of insert whatever? By my will and by yours, so shall this be. There you are. Stupid simple spell, but it hits all of those nodes. It's authoritative. It's utilizing your magical name so that you are identified not only by your energy, but by who you are when you have done a dedication ritual to um, the god, the god and goddess, to your patron god or goddess, whatever it happens to be. And that's just how you perform. Now, I think I've done a video before talking about magical voice, but just in case it got lost in the ether, I'll add this in because it does tie in with your magical name and stuff like that. So, the utilization of a magical voice is not the same as how I'm talking right now to the camera. And when you do start to talk, it's going to feel really weird in your throat, almost like you're activating several different vocal cords at the same time. And if done correctly, you should hear a reverberation in your ears, like almost an echo coming back. Um, I don't think that I could properly do it to where it would pick up on the microphone here, but it's almost like a sing song version of talking. So it would be like, I'm going to try my best and I'm probably going to make a fool of myself, but try to hear the different inflections of what I'm trying to do. Hear me, I call upon thee, O gods and goddesses who surround me. I, Oberon Albertus Magnus, call upon thee to aid me in my magical workings. So it's kind of, for me anyways, it's very guttural, very like right here, instead of the way I talk is kind of like higher pitch up here. Like, I don't know. I don't have the science behind it, but practicing with it and working with it, you'll feel like this vibrating in your throat almost. And it's not like, hi, my name is whatever, like you're talking like a robot. It's going to activate your throat chakra. And it's almost like a trance hypnotic type of way of talking that will also aid in the way that you do things. In my personal spell working, I like to be very rhythmic. And so, like, I think that not only does it draw a certain flair to the work that I'm doing, but that it also just kind of weaves things together a little bit better. Now, a spell can be whatever you need it to be or whatever you want it to be, and however you decide that you want to cast it. Um, really, all a spell is an advanced form of prayer, except for you are raising the energy. You are directly connecting with the elements. You are directly connecting to the god, goddess, or spirit. You are directly connecting to the element of magic, not only within you, but outside of you. And you are bringing all of these forces and these energies together and directing it toward what you need it to. So, I know there was a lot of blurring of lines with that, with different things that I talked about, but if there's any one particular thing that you would like for me to really kind of focus in on, let me know, put them in the comment section down below. And until next time, in a world full of Karens, be somebody who cares in the world, bless more than you curse, And I will talk to you next time. Bye, witches.